Hello everyone, welcome back to our tutorial on angles. This video, I am going to go through with you the fundamentals of angles, basically the types of angles that you need to know, and also the properties of angles that is covered in your syllabus. Okay, so just mind yourself that what you learn here, what you see in this video is going to be covered from Sec 1 all the way until your Sec 4. Okay, so I do know some of these properties or types are quite familiar for all of you. You have learned this in primary school. So a few of them are just a revision, but then the rest is going to be probably something new. Okay, but in any case, let's pay attention and get this one done as quickly as possible. Okay, all right. Okay, so first we're going to start with the types of angles. There are 5 types of angles that you need to know, and I believe you know at least 3 of them. Okay, at least 3 of them. Let's go through the list first, the types of angles, before I show you how they look like. Okay, so the first one that you need to know is the acute angle. Okay, acute angle followed by a right angle, which is 90 degrees, right? And after right angle is your obtuse angle. The fourth one is something that we don't normally use, okay, but it is still a type of angle, and it is a straight angle. All right. And lastly, it is very important, reflex angle. Okay, now that you know the types of angles, let's look at how they look like. Okay, let's illustrate. Let me illustrate how these angles look like. So for acute angle, it is less than 90 degrees. Okay, so an acute angle looks like this. Okay, this is an acute angle. Very simple. Okay, a right angle, as you might have guessed, is just like this, 90 degrees. You know that that means two lines are perpendicular to one another. Okay, so the third one, okay, as we go down the list, you will realize that the angles are getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so obtuse angle is we make it more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Okay, so it can be like this, it can be almost a flat line, but it is not yet a flat line. Okay, this is still an obtuse angle. It can look like 90 degrees but slight bend, so this is still an obtuse angle. Okay, straight angle, you will have guessed it has to be a straight line, so this is a straight angle. Okay, so you see the angles are getting bigger and bigger, right? And lastly, reflex angle is something which is more than 180 degrees but less than 360. That means this is a reflex angle, right? Almost 360, but it's not. Okay, it can be just like this as well. This is also a reflex angle. Okay, so as long as it is more than 180 but less than 360, it's called a reflex. Okay, anything less than your 90 degrees is a acute angle. Anything that is less than 180 but more than 90, it is your obtuse angle. Okay, so among all of these names, among all of these types, okay, you must know your acute angle, the meaning of acute, the meaning of obtuse and reflex, because they will be used in the questions. Okay, example, find the acute angle BAD, find the obtuse angle XYZ, or find the reflex angle MNP. So if you do not know the meaning of all these 3 names, acute, obtuse and reflex, then you might find the wrong angle. Okay, so these are the types of angles that you must know. We will move on to the properties of angles. Okay, just hang on. Okay, welcome back to the second part of this revision on angles. Let's now look at the properties of angles. Okay, I still believe that you guys have known most of these properties, but we need to recap them. Okay, so the first one is complementary angles. Okay, so complementary angles are such that two angles make up 90 degrees. Okay, so we have a right angle here, and then if I draw a line over this way, and therefore this angle A and angle B, I will say angle A and angle B are complementary because they add up to 90 degrees. Okay, so this is complementary. It's seldom used, but it is something that you must know. The reason, okay, the reason why A and B add up to 90 degrees because they are complementary. Okay, the second one is supplementary. Okay, supplementary angles. What are supplementary angles? Basically, they are angles that add up to 180 degrees. So we have a straight line here, and this is angle A, and this is angle B. So we say angle A and angle B add up to 180 degrees because they are supplementary angles. Okay, this 180, complementary angles are 90 degrees. Okay, so these two properties are quite simple, something that you all always know. Okay, for supplementary angles, some of us refer to them as sum of angles on a straight line as well. Okay, so that is also possible for you to remember. So these two are properties which I'm not so particular about because I believe most of you can recall, can remember this. So the next four properties are very, very important. Okay, so let's just stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to the last part for our angles revision. I'm going to go through the last four properties of angles that you must know. Okay, they are very, very important because most of the time they'll ask you to find the values of all these angles, giving reasons for your answers. Okay, so you can see here there are four properties: vertically opposite, alternate, corresponding, and interior. I will go through with you one by one which angles are vertically opposite and so on. Okay, so on your right hand side of the screen you will see a pair of parallel lines. The two horizontal lines are parallel, indicated by our arrow over here. Okay, so these two arrows indicate the two horizontal lines are parallel. They're very important. And there's one line that cuts across these two parallel lines. Okay, so for you to find vertically opposite angles, okay, they are basically bounded by two lines that cross each other. Okay, so in this case, I can see these two lines cross each other. Okay, yeah, it is in red. Let me just increase this thickness. Okay, so these two lines are crossing each other. So I can say angle A and C are vertically opposite, and also angle B and F are vertically opposite. Okay, so our first pair of vertically opposite angles are angle A and C, and vertically opposite angles are equal to one another. Therefore, angle A equals to angle C, and also angle B is equal to angle F. Why are they equal? Because they are vertically opposite angles. Okay, so look for two lines that crosses each other, two straight lines that cross each other, and you will get your vertically opposite angles. Okay, alternate angles. I believe all of us love this property because our teachers, even my teachers, teach me to find alternate angles, find the letter Z, find the letter Z, and so on. Okay, so the Z can be this way, can be a mirror image of this. It can be a funny Z like this, can also be like this. Okay, any of these four. And alternate angles require us to have parallel lines. So as long as we have parallel lines, or as long as these two lines here are parallel to one another, you can get your alternate angles. Okay, so we must thank ourselves that we have this. Okay, these two arrows tells us these two lines are parallel. Therefore, therefore our first Z, or the only Z that we have here, okay, let's use a green color line, is this one I see here. This is 1, 2, 3, right? Bounded by the green color lines. Therefore, we can say angle D is equal to angle F. Reason? Because they are alternate angles, that's all. Okay, so vertically opposite and alternate angles are equal to one another. Okay, they are equal to one another. Let's look at one more Z, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, bounded by the pink line. So we can say angle C and angle E are also alternate angles. Okay, so also angle C is equals to angle E. Reason? They are alternate. Okay, all right. The third reason, the third properties which according to the list is corresponding angle. Okay, corresponding angle can be a little tricky to find, but I'm gonna get you to trace my blue color line. Okay, so follow this blue color line. Okay, angle B is here, angle D is here on the horizontal line. Okay, and then they are connected by this line here. Okay, so I'm just going to label my angle B by this line here at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to pick this. I hope we can. Oh, I don't think I can get it. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let's just look at this. Okay, so angle B and angle D are on the blue line. Okay, they're on the blue line. Let me just draw it this way. Let me try. Okay, so this angle B, right? This angle B, and I'm gonna extract this angle. Then I can okay, so this angle B. Okay, don't mind the letter B that move around. Okay, so angle B is here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this angle B along the line that connects those two parallel lines. Okay, so I'm going to put it down here. As I slide it down, you can see that angle B and angle D are the same actually. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you is corresponding angles are equal to one another as shown in our diagram here. Okay, so what you can write down here first is angle B is equals to angle D because they are corresponding line. Okay, I'm sorry, because they are corresponding angles. Okay, you can tell yourself this way also. Both angles B and D lie on the same parallel line and is connected by the same line as well. Okay, there is another pair of corresponding angle, and if you can tell me, okay, it is which two angles? It is angle A and angle E. Okay, angle A and angle E are also corresponding to one another. Okay, let me just, I'm going to show this again. So just bear with me for a bit. I'm going to use the same blue color. So this is the line. So this is angle A here. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to drag this angle again. So angle A, okay, and I slide it down. It is the same as angle E. Okay, so that's it. Corresponding angles, alternate angles, and vertically opposite angles are equal to one another. Okay, so let's look at our last angle, which is interior. Okay, so now I need you all to trace my yellow color line. Okay, interior angles are basically, you can use the word in, that is inside a certain polygon, is enclosed between two lines. Okay, again, you need parallel lines here, and the parallel lines that I'm talking about is this one, the same blue line, but now I'm gonna label in yellow, and this line here. So if you can see, okay, these two yellow lines, what's inside, or what is inside these two yellow lines, or this open polygon shape, is angle C and angle D, right? Angle C and angle D are inside this so-called open polygon. Okay, so for this case, our interior angles, which is angle C and angle D, they are not equal. Okay, instead they add up to 180 degrees. All right, so basically interior angles are two angles that make up 180 degrees. So the difference between interior and corresponding, okay, they are quite similar, right? Angle B and C and angle D, they're quite similar, but one way to look at it is that for interior angles, the two angles are like facing each other. Angle C is looking at angle D, and angle D is looking at angle C. Okay, while on the other hand, for corresponding angles, angle D and angle B, they are facing the same direction. Okay, like as though in this case they are facing the top right corner of the screen or something like that. Okay, so do understand, do note the difference between corresponding and inferior angles. They are quite similar. Okay, so to summarize again, your first three properties, okay, your first three properties are equal to one another. So number 1, 2, and 3, all the angles mentioned, like vertically opposite angles, alternate angles, and corresponding angles, they are equal to one another. Okay, the last one, inferior angle, they are not equal, they add up to 180 degrees. This is what you need to know. And secondly, only vertically opposite angles do not require only vertically opposite angles do not require parallel lines. Okay, that means the bottom three here, the bottom three angles here, okay, number 2, 3, and 4, these three properties require parallel lines. So I will write this down. It needs parallel lines to be observed. Okay, if there's no parallel lines, you cannot have your alternate angles corresponding or interior. Okay, so guys, this is the summary for angles, the types and the properties. I know it's very long. You can skip and choose which part you need to listen to, and then I will go through the work examples in the next video. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you at our next video.